Hey everybody, welcome back to day 3 of grammar. And today we're working on verbs again. And I've got my screen looking a little bit different than normal because I'm going to be typing and talking as I do this. Because when we get back in school, we're going to do a lot of typing, we're going to do a lot of writing. So it may take me a little bit longer because I'm actually moving things on my computer and talking to you while I'm doing it. All right, so we know that verbs are the action in sentences. We know that verbs always go with nouns because they are the movement and the doing that the noun is going to do. You can always see verbs happening, meaning that they're not just there. So if we look at this first picture, we can see the ball going up in the air. We can see that this is probably a man or a boy or a young man. And we can see that the shoe has probably made contact with that ball and is sending it up in the air. So when I do this, before I ever start writing a sentence, what I do is I think of the subject. I think, okay, it's a boy. And then I put an action with my subject. So I could say the boy is kicking, the boy kicked. So I would use kicked. All right. Now, at this point is when I would make my sentence. And I would say the boy kicked the soccer ball up in the air. All right, let's look at this next picture. Now, there's a couple of verbs I see here because I'm not quite sure if maybe she's jumping or maybe she's dancing. So, see how I could go either way, but I know it looks like a little girl, so I'm going to go with a girl as my subject, and then my verb, I'm going to go ahead and say jumping. Okay? No, I'm going to say jumped. I'm going to do past tense. Now, at this point, I have my subject, I have my verb, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into a sentence. The girl jumped up into the air. That's as easy as it gets. So if you notice, I'm kind of giving you an idea of how Mrs. Hicks writes. I always start with my subject. What is my subject doing? And at that point, I can turn it into a sentence and then I write it. Okay, let's look at these two people. Okay, I could say the lady and her daughter. I could say the woman and the young girl, or I could just simply say they. Now, what are they doing? Well, that's pretty easy with the verb. They're hugging. They are hugging. They hugged. Okay, I'm going to say hugged. Okay? Past tense again. Now I look at this, and that's pretty simple because that is a baby. The toddler, that's probably the other subject I could use. And then I would go, what is that baby doing? What is that action I'm seeing? The baby is crawling. Okay? Now, is what they call a helper verb. It hooks to crawling. So is actually part of the action verb right here. So baby is crawling, or I could say baby crawled. All right, baby crawled. Now I turn it into the sentence and I say the baby is crawling across the kitchen floor. See how I do it? So I don't ever just jump in and go, you know what, I'm just going to write. I actually do a lot of thinking. I picture in my mind a picture. I get my subject. I do my action with the noun, and then I turn it into the sentence. All right, so looks like somebody, I'm going to say a man. What is the man doing? Well, he's petting. Okay. What is the man petting? The man is petting the cat. So there's my sentence. The man is petting the little cat. Beautiful. Great one thought. Capital, punctuation, stopping mark. Do I have a subject? Do I have an action? What is he petting? You need that. All right, let's look at this next one. Well, that kind of looks like this picture over here, doesn't it? But you know what? I'm going to change it up and I'm going to say the dog is kissing. Okay? Or you could say the dog is licking. Let's do that. Now, my sentence would be the dog is licking her nose. Isn't that cool? All right. Now, remember that verbs are the action in the sentence. So what I'm going to do is we're going to look at this picture kind of big right now. And we're going to go, okay, what is the subject doing? Well, it looks like a girl. It looks like she's on a horse. What is the horse doing? It's galloping or it's running. But what is she doing? Okay, so then I kind of get my idea. And I say, well, I'm going to say that the subject is, I'm going to say the subject right there is a girl. Okay. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to go to my verb. And this is exactly how I write. Riding. I'm going to say is riding. Okay. Now I'm going to write my sentence. So this is where I have to make it make sense. So I say, the girl is riding on her horse at the, I'm going to add even more, ocean. Okay? So then I stop and I ask myself, do I have a subject, the girl? What is the girl doing? Is riding. That's my action. What is she riding on? Her horse. Where is she riding at? At the ocean. The girl is riding on her horse at the ocean. Then I look for capitals, I look for punctuation, and I go, you know what? This is a great sentence because my noun has an action, and then I turned it into a really good sentence. All right, let's look at the next one. Okay, let me pull this picture up. Oh, this is a sweet picture. Okay, do you see what's happening in that picture? So we have a couple of subjects. We have a lady, we have a cat, we have a woman. We could name her. We could say, well, that's Maria. That's Olivia. All right. So I look at my picture and I do this in my mind when somebody says, you need to write a sentence. This is exactly what Mrs. Hicks does. She looks at pictures or she makes a picture in her mind. All right. I'm going to make that smaller. It went back into my mind. And I'm going to say cat as my subject. I'm going to say licked as my verb or licking. Now I'm going to think, how can I make this into a meaningful thought that somebody's going to read and enjoy? And I'm going to say the cat licked the woman's nose. Let's see. The cat licked the lady's nose. Do you notice that I put an apostrophe right here? Because it's one lady and nose belongs to her. Okay, now I look at my sentence and I think, you know what? I can put an adjective here. The orange cat licked the lady's nose. Now I'm very happy with that one thought. Capital, stopping mark, very comfortable. Read it out loud to somebody. The orange cat licked the lady's nose. That's exactly what's in that picture. All right, let's go to the next one, which is the end of today. Don't you like that? I didn't put anything there because you know what? You know what verbs are now. I don't think I have to tell you. You know that they are the action in a sentence. And you know that they always go with a noun and make them do something or move or jump or hit or kiss. So verbs are your actions in a sentence. So have a good rest of your day. Get your tasks done, and I'll talk to you on another day.